everybody, Josh Sigurdson of World Alternative Media here, and it's hard to decide who will be the next country the U.S. goes to war with. Iran, possibly Syria, maybe North Korea, maybe China, who knows? Well, one way or another, they are pushing and developing narratives right now because the monetary system needs a war after this shutdown. It's unbelievable the level of poverty we're seeing across the board, and there's new news regarding Kim Jong Un's sister, who we've been hearing a lot more about in the last year. They're definitely propping her up in the media, talking about, she will vow peace as long as the U.S. doesn't touch them, but she's not going to be talking to Trump any further in the future. We're going to get into this news and more. It's very important and it's breaking now, but make sure to first hit that like button, share this video on social media to get around the shadow banning. Join our new newsletter at www.iambanned.com. All it takes is your email so we can reach you. And Flote.app, as well as BitChute, the new social media networks, the alternative social media networks. We are not going to be on YouTube for long. The clock is ticking, and there's ways that you can fund us below, as we are completely viewer funded and completely demonetized on YouTube. Anyway, let's get into this news. As the Zero Hedge article says, Kim's sister rules out further talks with Trump, vows peace as long as U.S. doesn't touch us. And as the article goes into, it appears the world will not witness any kind of breakthrough Trump-Kim meeting by the end of Trump's first term in office, given that on Friday, Kim Jong Un's increasingly powerful sister, Kim Yo Jong, had some specific words on the matter. She said a new Trump-Kim summit is unlikely to happen this year, but left a remote door open, suggesting a surprise thing may still happen, whatever that means. While this is hardly a surprise given stalled nuclear talks since the end of the last year, hope for any resumption, which has since been completely dashed. What is new is her assertion that there will be peace as long as the U.S. doesn't touch us and hurt us. Everything will flow as is. As it continues, it says, the comments carried by KCNA news agency are a huge change in tune when compared to her coming close to threatening all-out war against the South a month ago. Pyongyang had ordered a military buildup along the DMZ, ostensibly in response to South Korean activists floating propaganda balloons across the border, urging citizens in the north to defect. Kim Yo Jong said on Friday, "We would like to make it clear that it does not necessarily mean that denuclearization is not possible," and added, "But what we mean is that it is not possible at this point in time." She emphasized that the U.S. must change its stance and tone towards Pyongyang if Washington hopes for a future breakthrough. And I quote, "We do not have the slightest intention to pose a threat to the U.S. Everything will go smoothly if they leave us alone and make no provocation on us," she said. Now, I want to point out that obviously the mayor of Seoul, South Korea, was recently found dead. There's been a lot of talk about, ramping up of pressures with the United States, North Korea, as well as Iran, as well as Russia, as well as Ukraine, as well as Syria. I mean, is anyone surprised? As well as China. And I do want to point out that I 110% believe that North Korea is a puppet state of China, of technocratic China. And what is China a puppet state of? Well, I wouldn't say it's a puppet state necessarily, but they've been propped up like a puppet for many years. As I've mentioned, Henry Kissinger meeting with Mao Zedong in the 70s, creating an artificial alliance with China that props up a monopoly on, exporting and trading with China, leading into the creation of the Trilateral Commission under Zbigniew Brzezinski during the Jimmy Carter administration, where he talked about creating a technocratic world order, and that's exactly what we're seeing coming out of China right now. There obviously is a huge power shift happening. The U.S. pulled out of the World Health Organization only for China to pay that and then some for what the U.S. pulled out to the World Health Organization. They're taking over China. There's a claim of, the U.S. and China, attacking each other and being enemies. I think they're working with each other to create a massive enslavement racket, and that's exactly what we're witnessing right now take place, but under the guise of enemies in the media, of course. So I think this is only going to ramp up because the monetary system needs a war. They're going to utilize this. This is all by a script, and I believe that, like North Korea, as I said before, if they shot off missiles, the U.S. would be able to shut them down on takeoff. So the notion of them attacking the U.S. is absurd. And all of this is politics regarding them going to war with the U.S. It's all politics. It's all nonsense. I don't believe it for a second. And, of course, The same thing goes with China. And of course, recently we've been also hearing about all these Iranian weapon depots mysteriously exploding, which I have reported on. I believe that they're trying to ramp up some kind of tension with Iran, as they have for 70 years. Of course, the US is an empire. It's taken over most of the world, but it's a world order, and it's a combination of governments that all have a similar benefit at hand, which is control of the masses. The more fear, the more control. The more chaos, the more order. And that's what we're witnessing right now, I believe, with this propaganda regarding North Korea. They're not like an outlying state. They're a puppet of China, and China has been working with the US. It's all a script. And Iran, with these weapon depots exploding, they've been ramping up the potential of all-out war with Iran for a long time, and they will try to move from, remember, the year started off with possible war with Iran, leading into coronavirus and Australian wildfires, and then riots in the streets, more divide and conquer, politicizing everything, misdirecting people, distracting them, and focusing them on the wrong things instead of focusing on the issue of government being the culprit, the organized crime racket trying to destroy free humanity. Then they go into the next thing, war. It's so perfect. Every single monetary crisis has ended with a massive war to save it from itself. Lots of deficit spending, lots of printing, lots of big companies getting tons of money from weapons manufacturers to computer companies, etc. Surveillance state will skyrocket in size and scope. Patriot Act will continue to be renewed, the National Defense Authorization Act as well. And it's all a script, and they're sacrificing you as pawns for the king and the queen at the end of the day. So don't expect this to just end peacefully. This is going to get a lot worse before it gets better. But regarding North Korea, I'm not concerned about North Korea itself. I'm concerned about the agenda at hand. The reason why this is even in the news. What is the plan? We know it's control, but in what way and how? And that's what we should all be looking into and being very vigilant about. Anyway, we will continue to cover this story as it elapses, but make sure first to hit that like button, share this on social media. We need to get around that shadow banning, and find us on flote.app as well as BitChute. Join us at iamband.com. Join our new newsletter. It takes 2 seconds to put in your email. All you have to do is put your email in there. It's not spammy. You'll get updates from us from time to time, and it's just really important because we are going to be taken down by YouTube soon. We're looking to leave YouTube by November 5th, 2020. Remember the 5th of November. In order to get everyone off of YouTube onto these other platforms, only posting trailers to our full videos on YouTube after that point. So I hope you join us and help fund GoFundMe, Patreon, Subscribestar. Anything helps to keep us up and running. Again, flote.app, BitChute, Library, Minds. Find us on all those social media networks, and we really appreciate your support, my friends. We are viewer funded, and you guys are the change you wish to see in the world, and you are keeping the message of freedom and truth alive. Anyway, check out this outro if you want to know more. Until next time, this is Josh Sigurdson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change. My friends, it is go time. We are completely demonetized on YouTube, and we depend on the viewer to stay alive and spread the message of freedom and truth. So check those links below. GoFundMe, Patreon, Subscribestar, anything you guys could do to help keep independent media alive helps enormously in helping spread this message to the masses. So make sure to check those links. Donate to our Bitcoin address on the screen or below. We really appreciate anything you could do to keep us alive. You could check those links below for Cointree as well, where you can find other cryptocurrencies that you can donate and keep WAM alive. Find us on flote.app, flote.app, as well as BitChute and Library and Minds. We're on all the other platforms. We are leaving YouTube soon, so make sure to find us at those sites because it's the only way we can keep talking to you, the masses, the great people that actually care about the future of free humanity. Also, join our new newsletter at www.iamband.com. Anything helps at this point, guys. We need to support free information online. This is the most difficult time in our history, and it takes a lot of hard work to keep our message alive in the face of great evils that have taken over the propaganda news on television as well as on YouTube, where YouTube decides what you can or cannot see. We need your help, my friends. So I really appreciate anything you guys can do. Check those links. There's many ways you can help. Until next time, though, thanks, everyone. This is Josh Sigurdson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change.
I'm sure you have already changed people's minds in your young age because you're involved, and I like that.